You may be seated. here because of the Son of your name. We ask you to be Lord of everything that happens here tonight. Give us open ears, hearts, and minds to hear what Brother Nick has to say to us. I pray that you would anoint his lips for the fresh oil of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God is good. All the time. God is good. Let Jesus be seen in 2014 and forever. All right, let's see what's happening. I don't know what's happening until I see it up there. Really? That means next week will be 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. Week 155. We're going to do something extra special. We're going to have an old school band next week. Some people that haven't played here in a while are going to come back and play for us. And J&O Barbecue Truck's going to be here. He's going to park right out there. And we're going to keep well. Okay. Tonight, we're going to Tonawanda's favorite Irish restaurant, McDonald's. Who remembers this song? McDonald's is your kind of place. A clean and happy place. Puts a smile on your face. Okay? So, come on over to Tonawanda's favorite Irish restaurant, McDonald's tonight. Put it on here. I already did that. And our next fundraiser for the Christmas bag is the Best Dish Cook-Off, Monday, April 14th, cash prize. I'm not saying I will make something, but I will promise you this: I will not cheat by putting sweet mare on a plate and offering her as my best dish. Never. I need to back up on the drum. There's 2 reasons I won't do that. One, she won't let me, and number 2, everybody has to sample it. I don't want that to happen. Okay? All right. Oh! Next thing.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Nick Gleason is so talented he can play the bass and preach. As I told him, tonight's our first night of live streaming. We currently have 1,230 people logged on watching you.
You shouldn't lie, especially. No pressure. No pressure. You know why there's no pressure? Because it's not true. That's okay though. There'll be plenty of people to see it after if they're.
It might be true, but it probably isn't.
It might. Well, yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you say top of the evening or did you say
Top of the evening.
bottom of the afternoon? How do you get the what's the? I don't know.
Top of the evening.
Anyway, I was thinking about what I was going to. What say it, Victor? Are you heckling? Top of the morning. Top of the evening because it's about to be evening. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I was talking about what I was going to talk about tonight. Should say big plans up there. Should go maybe, or just the verse. That's okay. But I said, you know what, it's St. Patrick's Day. Let me see if I can talk about St. Patrick. Well, it turns out that the story with it, beautiful. Thank you. Turns out St. Patrick actually has a story that kind of goes along with what I'm going to talk about. St. Patrick was actually not Irish, he was English. Jews don't say, yes. Well, what happened was he wasn't really a believer when he was a kid. And about the age of 16, he was kidnapped by Irish pirates. Think about that for a minute. And he was held captive in Ireland and was enslaved for like 6 years. He was a shepherd and did that kind of thing. And then one day he heard a voice that was telling him he was going to be going home soon and there'd be a ship waiting for him. So what he did was he escaped his captors, traveled like 200 miles, had to like convince this captain to let him come on the boat. Got on the boat, 3 days sailing, they landed ashore, then 28 days in the wilderness, just trying to get where they're going, and he eventually made it home to his family. It was like this ridiculous story about how that he got out of there. Well, what happened was, once he got home, he studied Christianity. He had felt God talking, he did a lot of praying when he was being a shepherd. And so he studied Christianity, and he actually, while he was studying, had a vision, another vision, that said it was a group of people from near where he had been in Ireland. It was, you could tell that they were Irish, because you know how dreams are. Sometimes you can, in visions, you can tell who somebody is without actually, whatever. And they said, "We appeal to you, holy servant boy, come and walk among us." So he took that as a calling, as you should, and he returned to Ireland as a Christian missionary. And he did lots of work, baptizing and working with people there. So that's why he ended up being the patron saint of Ireland. It's actually like a national holiday. The church observes it, everything. So, very important day. Now, what does it have to do with Jeremiah 29? Jeremiah 29:11 is the verse. We'll talk about that for a minute. With this chapter of Jeremiah was written to, it's a retelling of a letter that was written to the exiles that had been taken from Jerusalem and brought to Babylon. And God basically, one of the things he talks about there, he tells them to settle down there, put in roots, don't just complain like God's people like to do, but actually put down roots, plant, use ground, and you'll grow and prosper and increase in number. Basically what he's telling is don't just sit there and feel sorry for yourselves and be mad at God because you're in exile. That's not what God wants you to do. Even though they're in exile, that's what he tells them. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Now, you're in exile, you're told that, it's got to be coming from God, because in that exile, you feel horrible because you're separated. So, doing a little research on this chapter, I read a commentary, and I'm going to go through what they talked about without quoting them really. So basically, when the exiles, they were at risk of what happens to a lot of us. We get stuck in our own heads sometimes when things aren't going the way we want them to go. When they think the worst is coming, or you might have feelings of impending doom. It reminds me of my first semester away at college at Houghton. I had a class called Biblical Interpretation, which is a good class to start with when you're a Bible major, I guess. And I was studying with a friend for the final. And we had a whole semester, and I went to that class right after I ate lunch, so I would doze a lot in that class. So I never really felt like I was prepared for the test very well. But he and I put our notes together, and the professor gave us a review sheet, and we would go through it. And the night before the final, we were sitting in my kitchen at my apartment, and we were just going through it, and I looked, and I realized we're only on like the second page of like 6 after we had filled out this guy's sheet. All of a sudden, my eyes glazed over, and I just was like panicked. Oh my God, I'm never going to get through this. This is way too much information. I started really, a lot of people have been through that, something's going wrong, and you just think about how wrong it could go. And he turned to me and he said, calm down, man, you got this. You've been there all semester, you're doing all right, let's just keep going. And he was a really cool guy, he had a good mellow me out. He was only there that semester, but he was a really neat guy. So we went and took the final, and it ended up being not too bad. But, like the exiles, I had that experience of being stuck in my own head and telling myself the worst was going to happen. But God does have a plan, and that's why I was there following God's plan. So he never questions his plans. We will question what we're doing, but God has a plan, and if you're following his plan, he's never going to question it because he knows what he's doing. Here's a quote from that commentary. When he begins in ways of mercy, he will make an end. God does nothing by halves. And I read that, I had to stop and I read it again. When God begins in ways of mercy, he will make an end. God does nothing by halves. Does nothing halfway. So if you're in the middle of something that God has told you, God doesn't call you, he'll get you through it. He doesn't call you to it if he won't get you through it. It's kind of a cliche, but God doesn't do anything by halves. He's going to finish his plan. But sometimes we can be fearful that God, he's like out to get us, or he's left us hanging. You can ask questions like, why me, God? How could a loving God let this happen? Somebody in my church has been going through that with their family. How can God let this happen? There's lots of questions that we can come up with because we're only partway through God's plan. And really, God is sovereign. God's in charge. And for us to question God's plan, I know that it makes sense to do it. And I've been there. And things that you heard sometimes. But God does have a plan. God doesn't have a plan for evil, though. You might feel like you're having a bad time, and if you're following God's plan, why is this bad thing happening? But God's plan isn't bad. God wouldn't plan for evil to happen. He's in control. We can just find it hard at times to let God's will happen in opposition to our will. My mom's got a friend who once said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So, will result in God's plan coming to be. You know, whatever God's got in mind, whatever his end game is, it will happen. There's no question about that. We can either embrace it and live it out, or we can fight it and be aggravated all the time. That's hard to live too, even for me. And I'm over talking about it. But so back to the exiles. They were in the middle of God's plan, and it wasn't going their way with their exiles. So they're in Babylon. And I want to talk a little bit about the word Babylon for a minute. But I want to come at it from a different perspective than most of us have ever really heard it. I listen to all different kinds of music, and one of the genres I like is reggae. And I like old school reggae, Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, those guys. Yeah, man. Everything that I read. So they talk about Babylon. They have a lot of, the music came from the people that were displaced from Africa and were being oppressed. And so Babylon being exiled, that's how they felt. So they would talk about Babylon and then Zion, Mount Zion, where they're trying to get to. And then they use it literally, but also metaphorically. I've got a few different things from the Wikipedia article, so you know it's true. Babylon can refer to the corruption and perversion of the Word of God. Anything that is not the way God says it's going to be, Babylon. Anything that is a lie regarding the truth of God. So something that somebody tells you something that's a lie, then they say it's from God. That's Babylon. Any system that oppresses or discriminates against any people. Babylon. It's the evil place that you can be in when you're feeling oppressed. They even go as far as to say human government and institutions that are seen as in rebellion against the rule of God. So anything that's going against God is Babylon. So as I'm listening to my reggae, I get this Babylon in my head. And I sometimes think about hard times in my life as Babylon. And they sing about wanting to return to Zion, and I think about that as, one day when the people ask me, why do you ride your motorcycle and all kinds of weather? I said, listen, if the worst thing that happens to my bike today is that I die, I'm going home. I'm going to be with God. That's Zion. That's getting home to Zion. Riding in 25-degree weather this morning, that was closer to Babylon, but Zion is what we're looking for. So what am I talking about? We've done St. Patrick, we've done Jeremiah talking to exiles, now we're doing reggae. What are you talking about, kid? So St. Patrick was enslaved. He was taken against his will. He was like an exile, removed from what he knew. Then he went home and he came to love the Lord, and then he had a vision that sent him back. Well, what happened was when he went back, he was an Englishman in Ireland, and that was kind of an exile too. He was kind of an outcast, and he didn't want to he didn't want to do what the royalty wanted him to do. He wouldn't take their money and different things that made him kind of an outcast. So it was kind of like exile for that. So then reggae talks about Babylon being the hard times. So those are hard times. We all have hard times. And we talk about Zion being the promised land, the life of joy that we hope to get to. So then Jeremiah 29 was written to people who were literally exiles. They were literally removed from their land to another place. So they were literally exiled. We sometimes can be spiritually exiled. We can be metaphorically exiled, removed from what would bring us joy. But God's promise remains. God has big plans for you, for me, and for the people up there. God has plans for all of us. For you to succeed, for you to flourish, for you to be successful. He's got really big plans. All we have to do is trust God, and He will lead you on an amazing journey. Think about St. Patrick's amazing journey. And trusting in God is the only way to get through the hard times. So with that,
One thing I failed to mention, I apologize, Nick and Victor are the ones that kept the street alive tonight, so give it up to them. As the weather gets warmer, this will get easier and easier. Would you please stand for the flag of prayer? My prayer tonight for each of us, O Lord, is that you would help us to submit to whatever it is that you want. We know eventually you're going to get your way anyway, and I'd rather be going along with your will than fighting against it.